Hello watch lovers! In today's video I'm here to help you brighten up your watch collection by showcasing the best watches in every colour. I've got over 20 vivid and vibrant watches to show you, covering the whole colour spectrum, starting with red. Power red. If you want people to turn and look when you fall into a room, then you need to get a bit of ruby redness on your wrist. So let's start with a bit of a bargain and a real Bobby Dazzler from Casio's MTP collection, specifically the Casio MTP-B145D-4A2VEF. So easily searchable and in a sleek stainless steel case, and you better believe that bracelet is integrated, but it's the dial we're here for, in a vibrant red with a sunburst finish. Minimal and easy to read, it's clean, vibrant and fun, like a favourite auntie. And other colours are available, so that's great, and for only £64! Why not get 3 and wear them all at the same time, just like this utter legend. Or if you don't like any of these, you can get it in turquoise. But we're sticking with red for now though, and it's starting to get a bit rowdy, and Clara is imminent because it's Negroni cocktail time in Tokyo's swanky Sky Bar. This is a £400 Seiko cocktail time watch with its deep red coloured dial inspired by a Negroni cocktail. You get a kaleidoscopic pattern on the dial that looks like light passing through a cocktail glass, why not? And then applied numerals in a vintage font inspired by the print of old liquor bottle labels. Delicious. I think I'll have another. What do you mean you think I've had enough? Always wear Seiko responsibly. So now that we're barred from the Sky Bar, let's check out another awesome red watch. It's a Rolex. Because what you see here is the purest expression of Rolex's manufacturing spirit, and it's basically the quintessential wristwatch that withstands the demands of contemporary life and makes way for endless future possibilities that are ours to pursue. And this one's got a red dial, and it's a totally new shade of red invented by Rolex, which they refer to as Rougelanium, probably. Discontinued by Rolex, however, so you'll have to pick one up pre-owned. Or, as intended, you can just cherish its memory on the dial of the Celebration Oyster Perpetual. This is a dial made from pure ligma, and it honours all the discontinued coloured dials from Rolex Oyster Perpetual past. Look, there's the red one there. And there's the yellow one too. Memories. Speaking of yellow, let's now take a look at some orange watches. Orange, a colour so good they invented a fruit and named it after it. And then later they made some watches orange. And here's one of them. This is the Carbon Core Guard GA2200 from G-Shock. This is a tough watch for all you adventurous types out there for £129. The Carbon Core Guard is built with a 3-tier structure for rugged toughness and devil-may-care levels of shock resistance. Decked out in international orange, this is a serious outdoor watch. From the big orange pushers with the knurled texture to the inset dial indicator finished in metallic orange, it all makes it look like an indispensable tool watch, which it is, and would likely pair well with a NASA astronaut's launch entry jumpsuit. But if you don't have one of those, an orange jacket would work probably. Or if you don't like this one, you can get it in turquoise. But we're going to stick with orange for now with the Doxa Sub 200 Professional. This is a vintage-inspired diver's watch for £950. There's 3 hands on the dial, a rotating bezel and 200 metres of water resistance in a 316L stainless steel case, and the dial is covered with domed plexiglass, of the kind used back in the 60s when famous underwater exploration man Jacques Cousteau himself favoured a Doxa dive watch. And the orange dial was a familiar sight aboard his boat, the Calypso, on the wrists of all his diver friends who lived there. So Cousteau approved, and with the orange Geneva cod of approval stamped on the crown, what could be wetter? But if you don't like this one, you can get it in turquoise. But if you sat there thinking orange relates only to dive watches or robust search and rescue tool watches, then you're so wrong. Because Bell & Ross, the experts in aviation watches, will have you know that bright orange is a pop colour that evokes the 70s and the golden age of skating in California. Yeah, I didn't either. Hence this Bell & Ross watch, the BRV292 Orange. A watch that appeals to pilots and trendy urbanite skater boys alike. With its neo-retro vintage pilot's watch aesthetic combined with radical bright orange, this is a very stylish and attractive watch, and it's a great blend of simplicity, practicality and fun for £3,100. But it's limited to just 500 pieces, so if you want one you better nose blunt willy grind into a boutique faster than Tony Hawkins, the Hawkman. Right, now let's talk about some Yellow-runs. Yellow for fans of fast cars and ocular migraines. Also classy bargains like this Citizen Tsuyosa Automatic. So the Citizen Tsuyosa took the watch world by storm when it released at some point in the past for only £300. This is a steel sports stunner with a sleek and stylish case design, and you better believe that bracelet is integrated, and with a dial in a really attractive warm yellow with a sunray texture. This is a sunny, sporty watch, great for every day, but smart and elegant enough for ritzy occasions too, which I sometimes attend, depends what time it starts. You get great levels of finishing throughout the watch with a mixture of polished and brushed edges and surfaces, and a Jubilee style bracelet as well, but if you don't like this one you can just get it in turquoise. Now, check out this Breitling Superocean 42. So Breitling is all about casual luxury that's bold and a little bit fun sometimes, why not? And this Superocean is all those things. It features an eye-catching colour on the dial in a hue which Breitling describes as online exclusive yellow. And then adorning the vibrant dial, you've got broad hands and indexes in luminescent superluminova and a scratch-proof ceramic inlaid bezel. This is a fun, cool watch, great for surfing, swimming, chilling by the pool, or maxing at the beach bar, and even will look good during other non-holiday related activities, I'm sure, because this watch does it all for £4,100. But if you don't like this one, you can just get it in turquoise. Now, onto everyone's favourite watch brand, Hublot, and this is the Spirit of Big Bang Yellow Magic for £29,900. This is a 42mm beast in polished yellow ceramic. So you get a micro-blasted and polished yellow ceramic bezel and a polished yellow ceramic case with black accents. It features the HUB 4700 caliber, that's a self-winding skeleton chronograph movement, and you can see it working away there through the dial, just like the engine of a Formula 1 car, a yellow one, or some kind of mechanical canary. Actually, it reminds me of that robot, you know, the one that looks like a bumblebee that could transform into a beetle. I think his name was Mumra. Anyway, awesome, audacious watch, and if you're looking to make a statement, then this is the watch for you. Right, let's move on to green now. Green, blue's understudy, just waiting for its big break, which finally came in 2022 thanks to the Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meters. So here we have Omega's famous dive watch, beautifully presented in green, but it's not a commercial mainstream green, no, it's a much deeper, more thoughtful green than that. More like racing green or like a lawn at night time. The laser engraved waves on the dial, the bezel and the rubber strap all get the green, and the result is just well regal, like properly resplendent. And despite the somewhat moodier green, this model actually brings a freshness and a reinvigoration to the Seamaster, and I think the blue version feels very traditional and familiar in comparison. So yeah, good one, green. This Omega Seamaster costs £5,300. Right now, let's get properly green, because it's not easy being Frog. This is a really fun watch, the crossover we didn't know we needed. Oris and Disney's The Muppets come together for this Propilot X Caliber 400 Kermit edition. Oris have been on a mission to create a watch that's pure joy, and I think this has got to be it. A 39mm titanium Propilot X with a green dial and a twist. The watch tells you when it's Kermit Day. So on the 1st of every month, the date window is filled with the beaming face of Kermit the Frog, a reminder to not take life too seriously and find a brief moment in the day just for yourself. Thanks, Kermit. I don't actually honour Kermit Day in my household. I do all the main ones though: Pancake Day, Soul Cake Duck Tuesday, and Shaun the Sheep Saturdays, which occur on the 3rd and 5th Saturday of every month without fail. That's non-negotiable. But this watch costs £3,800, and if you love Kermit and you honour his teachings on Kermit Day, then this is the watch for you, I would imagine. Next, we have a beautiful everyday watch from Longines. This is the Conquest L3 830-4026. The name Conquest implies some kind of pioneering challenge, but this is a very chilled out watch. elegant looking, yet unfussy enough to work for every day, and you get a charming green sunray dial as well. Silver polished hands, applied indexes, and a circular pattern channel band groove type thing around the edge of the dial, which is a lovely addition, like a strip of mown grass. It's 41mm, comes with the L888 automatic movement inside, and costs £2,000. Right, we're moving into blue now, the world's most popular colour according to all of the polls, probably. Let's start with the Christopher Ward C63 Sealander in Dragonfly Blue. Now, as we all know, dragonflies are the coolest insect and the dragons of the fly world, so that's a great start. This is a 36mm GMT watch for £1,060. It's beautifully finished throughout, and with the shimmer of the sunray dial, along with the brushed and polished hands and markers, gives it great depth and visual appeal. The Dragonfly Blue is almost a metallic petrol blue, and it contrasts nicely against the orange of the GMT hand. And I actually think the main reason for getting a GMT watch is for that lovely contrast between the GMT hand and the dial. What do you reckon? Okay, cool beans. Right, now we have the Streamliner Small Seconds from H. Moser & C. The sporty chic Streamliner comes in a 39mm steel case with integrated bracelet and packing an in-house automatic micro rotor movement, but the highlight here is the translucent aqua blue Fume Grand Hui enamel dial. And this dial reinterprets the master craftsmanship of enameling by imbuing it with the brand's renowned signature fume finish, where the lighter shades in the centre gradually deepen towards the outer edge. This enamel dial has a hammered texture and must be fired 12 times in total to create the lovely effect you see here, and each dial is unique, and in a final ballsy move by Moser, they feature no logo. The result is a beautifully textured and captivating dial, and this watch costs 29,900 Swiss francs. Next, we have the Odysseus from Lange and Söhne. This is the blue watch that's just pure quintessence. The watch case is stainless steel and features a dark blue dial made of brass, and it has a textured inner dial and sub-dial both circled by a concentrical ring pattern, and then notched baton applied markers made of white gold sit above those concentric lines. You get an outsized date and a large day of week display, and then a beveled flange ring with a printed minute scale that frames the whole thing. It's an artisanally perfect watch dial, and if you love refined watchmaking with a sporty edge, then look no further. Price upon request. Need to know basis. Now it's time to start wearing purple and give 2 plums up for these awesome purple watches, starting with this sturdy field watch from Formex. No, not the tile adhesive people, the Swiss watch company, Formex being a portmanteau of the words form and extreme, and this is the Formex Field. In a 41mm case made entirely from grade 2 titanium, the bead-blasted ruggedness of the titanium makes an interesting pairing with the purple dial and violet leather strap. The recessed numbers and hour markers give depth to the dial, which is then accentuated by the shallow downward curve around the outer perimeter where there sits a printed chapter ring. This is a vibrant watch and an interesting deviation from the typical neutral tones of most field watches. Probably a bit too jazzy for taking out on manoeuvres, but I love how it stands out against the other Formex Fields in the series. And I think purple is all about standing out. Go fig or go home, I say. With that in mind, let's have a look at an Urwerk. This is the Urwerk UR100V Ultraviolet, and here's what Urwerk has to say about the colour choice of this watch. This watch is a celebration of the boundary from perceptible to imperceptible, and a hue that sits on the border of a dimension we call colour. Violet is the ultimate hue, that of the fighters, the outsiders, the crazies. Heroes or villains, it doesn't matter. You need to make yourself heard, do it in violet. So there you go, that's the colour, but how does the display work? Well, you've got your basic satellite hours and minute display with the addition of a kilometre counter. So basically, once the 60th minute has been reached, the minutes hand switches to a kilometre counter, illustrating the 555 kilometres travelled every 20 minutes by every inhabitant on planet Earth, which is the average speed of the rotation of the Earth calculated at the equator. So pretty run-of-the-mill stuff, but pairs nicely with a varsity jacket, and all yours for 55,000 Swiss francs. Next, we have the Legacy Machine 101 from Maximilian Buser and Friends. So originally released in 2014, the series however attained perfection in 2021 with the release of a purple dial version. With a case in 18 karat white gold and the highest quality hand finishing throughout, then topped off with a UFO-like flying balance hovering in the centre of the dial, the visible centrepiece of a bespoke movement featuring 229 components. Such audacious and exquisite watchmaking is best complemented with the bold purple dial, methinks. So thanks a million, Maximilian, Moser and friends. This watch costs 73,271 Swiss francs. Right, let's cool things down now with some hot pink. Starting with the pinkest new watch around, the Tag Heuer Carrera Date. Sporty, ergonomic racing design of the Carrera, now in hot pink. This bold execution captures modern tastes with a maverick dial colour that breaks free from tradition. This is a really cool watch with massive amounts of unisex appeal. The vibrant pink of the dial has a snailed sunray finish for that pink swirl glam factor that's been so desperately lacking in modern Swiss watchmaking these days. You get superluminova on the hands and markers for low light legibility and a raised track running around the outside of the dial with quarter of a second markings to symbolise acceleration, apparently. Since made famous by Hollywood filmsman Ryan Gosling after his portrayal of the character Ken in the film Blade Runner 2049, this watch costs £2,850. Bold, elegant and an amazing watch for those who dare to wear it. Next, it's the Nomos Club Campus, and this is a lovely 38mm watch with a deep pink dial. The dial is clean and clear with a mixture of broad white numerals, Arabic on the top half and Roman on the bottom half. There's a small second-hand subdial at the 6 o'clock position with a contrasting orange hand. The vibrant pinkness of the dial, the high-polished steel case and the muted grey velour leather strap all play together perfectly. For a watch that's a wonderful all-rounder, it costs £1,400. But if you don't like this one, you can get it in turquoise. Now, probably the most exquisite pink dialed watch there ever was. The Grand Seiko Shunbun Spring Cherry Blossom Spring Drive from the Japanese Seasons collection. Inspired by that magical time when the sakura cherry blossom petals fall, swirl and float in the water, and powered by Grand Seiko's equally exquisite spring drive movement with its flawlessly smooth second-hand sweep, this watch has become an icon. But hold on though, it's not pink enough. So how about this? The Grand Seiko Pink Snowflake Spring Drive 20th Anniversary Limited Edition. Now this watch has the same texture inspired by the light and delicate snow of the kind that only falls outside of Grand Seiko's Shinshu watch studio, but now inspired by the rosy winter morning glow of sunrise. Isn't it lovely? Yeah, well, don't get too excited because it's limited to only 1,500 pieces, but if you do manage to bag one, it will cost you £5,950. Right, I think that's it. Are there any more colours? Oh, what about turquoise? And how about this exquisite watch? Yes, the watch that started the turquoise craze. Of course, I'm talking about the beautiful Accurist Everyday Unisex watch. This is an everyday watch of extraordinary quality. The watch features a round stainless steel case housing a fancy Cambridge blue sunray dial, and it comes with diamond cut battens and a date display enclosed by ultra scratch resistant sapphire crystal glass, and best of all, you can enjoy this exquisite Cambridge blue watch for just £139. Oh, phew, that was a lot of colourful watches. And if that's got you in the mood for something spicy to put on your wrist, then why not head over to watchfinder.com to find your next pre-owned luxury watch, and why not search by dial colour? From brown to specialised and everything in between, check it out and I'll catch you later. Alright then.